Pandemic now obviously brings on a whole different meaning. Um, but it's kind of the same thought process. This was a song that we wrote many, many years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Um, and it's called Pandemic, obviously, but it's about a pandemic, uh, which now being on the quarantine tapes kind of goes, oh, hey, look at that. So I guess it would, I don't know that it's the centerpiece, but again, it kind of gets into that more groovy thing. Um, and there's a lot more layering and there's just a lot more going on than there was on the previous stuff. Um, Production values kind of went up, even though um, I don't I don't know if part of it is just shit guitar tones. Uh, and again, that's on me not knowing enough to fix it at the time, um, and not being good enough at mixing now to be able to fix it to where I want to. What you can hear in these are the mixes are good. They'll sound okay on speakers and stuff like that, but when you take them to the car, they're not going to translate very well. The reason for that is they have way too much fucking low end. I mean, they really sound like what I want things to sound like when I listen to them. The only issue there is I think I'm overcompensating and I don't know how to fix it. That's basically it. They're not gonna sound like total dog shit, but they're muddier than I want them to be. There's just a lot of stuff going on there that I'm like, and I just can't fix. But again, I've remixed some of these songs hundreds of times. I mean, it seems like this has gone on forever, and it has gone on forever. But it's not because I was taking breaks or anything like that. I mean, there was, I I eat dinner and then Holly go to bed at 9 o'clock, and I'd be up until 2 o'clock in the morning mixing on headphones, and then I'd come back and listen to it, and then it'd sound like crap. I'd come home from work and I'd start again and work on it until dinner, and it just became a huge cycle, and I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And then on the weekends, that's all I would do is I would just sit down for 2 days and mix and remix and mix and remix, and I'd learn little things here and there, and I'd be watching videos on how to try and fix shit. And sometimes I fix shit, and other things would pop up, and sometimes it was like playing whack-a-mole. I could never get them to sound exactly how I wanted them to sound. Um, and part of that is, like I said, skill, and part of that is just bad source tones or a bad source tone, which would be the guitars. The vocals, while great, again, we used a cheap mic up until I think this is the last song we used the cheap mic on, um, or it's getting there. We kind of upgraded our mic chain, um, and got a preamp, all that kind of stuff. So the vocals should be a little cleaner and everything else from here on out, I think. Um, but I wish I could have done better. But they're good songs. I like these songs. These are my favorite batch of songs. So let's get to it. Pandemic.